Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I would like to share something very exciting with you guys. We are going to be going through the process of anodizing a knife that I just got in from Wayne's Sharp World. Wayne, if you're watching this, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Little backstory, I reached out to him and asked him if I can borrow one of his knives so that I can make content, since I'm kind of short on stuff to make content with. Saving up for a wedding, yada yada yada. Let's get into it. This is what I'm going to use to unbox it, and this is probably my #1 ultra budget pick for this year. I've actually decided to purchase 3 of these for my brother-in-law's. This is the Free Tiger FT2103, an excellent little budget beater knife that's actually made very well. And actually, once I get the order in for these from Amazon, one of my brother-in-laws, he's a lefty dominant, and I will be tapping the show side here because there are threads on that liner that just aren't exposed. So I believe that's it. There shouldn't be anything else in the box. That is a shit ton of bubble wrap. Cool. Definitely use that when I go to package this up again and send it out. This is going to be a quick project, just going to be done within an hour or so, maybe less, possibly. You guys aren't going to see like the entire process, but it's going to be broken up into the important stuff, of course. So disassembly, cleaning, the anodizing with a cool color change. This is a Kizer knife. Now, I haven't been able to check out that many Kizers this year. If I gave into my impulse to check out every cool Kizer that I thought was worth checking out, I would be broker than broke. I'd be broker than what I am right now. And yeah, so I enjoy Kizer mainly through other channels, mainly Wayne Sharp World. So I definitely appreciate him for the content he brings to the community. This specific variation is the brand new release from Kizer. This is the Kizer Original XL, I believe. I've never handled it, nor the regular version. It feels pretty darn good. It looks good. I can definitely say that the feeling of this button lock feels a whole lot nicer than the button lock. It wasn't the Towser K. It was I forgot the name of it, but it was a button lock Kizer that I checked out, and it had a bunch of issues. I'm gonna go ahead and just give a little, passes the test, a little spine work there, nothing crazy. And as you can see here, original in snowflake titanium. One thing that interested me about this, and me possibly picking this up, is that I don't think that this is just a surface finish. I think that this is actually completely through the material, that the titanium is actually manufactured to have this finish all the way through. So that way when they do their typical little, it really does feel slick and slippery. It's not a polished finish, but it's more of a sand blasted over finish to knock off all the sharp corners and whatnot. It is very well finished for the price that it's coming at. I believe it's well under $200. But I have another piece in my collection that is similar material, and it's actually this little filler here for the lanyard hole filler on my PM2. This is a piece by Mettenboss. I got this a while back, and it was a rather expensive little piece. So the fact that Kizer is able to offer a higher end enthusiast oriented material like this on a relatively straightforward and simple platform is quite impressive. So we're gonna go ahead and disassemble this. I'm gonna cut it real quick. You guys are gonna see all the pieces and a couple other things that I do. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, so the knife is completely disassembled. The internals are very clean. I don't think he had this knife for too long. He probably just took a couple pictures and videos and sent it on his way over to me. So it was very easy to take apart, no issues or hiccups with it. But one thing I did want to show you guys is what it looks like on the inside. As you can see, this area right here that is really dark and kind of corroded looking, it's not corrosion. It's actually just what oil does to this surface finish or the titanium, as is. So this is also, you can see the space from where the clip sits and covers. So my goal right now is I'm going to take it to the sink and clean it as best as possible. And I'm not going to handle this anymore barehanded, and I'll be using some gloves at that point. And then I will start preparing my anodizing setup and everything. And these will be left in a little cup of water, so that way there's no possible anything getting on them while everything's being set up. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Take it, get these things nice and clean. Alrighty, so the scales have been cleaned. Everything with the power supply is set up. I have my solution well mixed. There is a lot of sediment at the bottom. Don't worry about that. It's nothing to really be concerned about. I have my gloves, of course, on to keep any oils from transferring onto the surface of the scales. What I decided to do was take some really, really worn out 3000 grit wet sand. And what I did was I gave it the slightest once over to give it a much brighter finish. And that will definitely aid in bringing out a more vibrant green. So it's not an absolute polish. You can still see the crystal finish underneath. It is still very fine and vibrant, and there is still a difference between the light and dark crystals, at least with the finish that's there. So I'm going to go ahead and start dipping this. So I'm going to do one piece at a time. I've had success with 2 pieces at a time, but more consistent results, I guess, with 1 piece at a time. So we're going to go ahead, hook this on here. I have some titanium wire here, and we have it set to 100 volts. So let's get this going. We're gonna watch that color, all the different changes. The golds, the pinks, the purples. It's getting to the darker blues. We're at teal right now. We're getting into the greens. Hopefully it doesn't go past and go to the yellows. We're gonna call that good. All right, let me get a paper towel. I wasn't super prepared. All right. Okay, paper towel. All right. That is pretty funky looking. And as this dries, color is going to pop a little bit more. This is a pretty wacky looking green. It really is. So it's not necessarily an emerald, but it is definitely green. That is very weird looking on the inside, that's for sure. Pretty cool. You can see all those yellow flakes in there. It's still drying technically. You know what? I think I'm going to resubmerge this for just a little bit longer at the same voltage to see if anything changes. I doubt anything would change, but we're gonna go ahead and see if that makes any difference. Sometimes it does. Still see some bubbles happening. I might have pulled it out a little too soon. We'll see if this helps at all. No, didn't really make much of a difference. It still has that slight pink tinge in the middle. I'm not too sure why that is. Still pretty cool looking, I'd have to say. All right. Might have to refinish that possibly, but let's go ahead and see if maybe it was a little too high on the voltage. Let's see if I'm gonna do a 96 right before the yellows start to come around. No, let's just do a 95 and check that out. So if this one comes out good, I can just simply refinish the other one and we'll just hit it again at the 95. All right, numbers are settling out. You know, I think that was it. I think we were just hitting it a little too high. This looks a lot better, at least from what I can see at the moment. Alrighty. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be a lot better than the first one, which is fine. It should be really easy to finish the other one. Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. I'm gonna call that good. I don't want to mess with it too much more. So there is a little bit of blue on the edges, but for the majority it is a wonderful crystallized green. That looks pretty sick. I'm quite happy with that. I would definitely want that on on my knife, that's for sure. So I'm happy with how that came out. That looks neat. See it drying up there. So it has a slight blue to it, greens and a tiny bit of yellow. Of course, the crystallized pattern, you could see there kind of shimmering. That is pretty darn cool. I like that. That came out really cool. I'm very happy with that. So as you can see, there is a significant difference between these two. Not too sure why that was. Is 5 volts really the difference? I suppose it is. So I'm gonna cut it. Alrighty, so I was finally able to color match the two as close as possible. I did have to refinish one, and then I got the color I wanted, and then I went to go dip the other one separately. I didn't get it right. I had to refinish that again. Thankfully, oh my gosh. This crystallized tie is truly fun stuff to work on. It is beautiful. It also helps with hiding any possible imperfections. And what I want to basically say is that while these came out excellent in consistency and color, I did use my Praxis, my Wii Praxis, to get the tone as close as I possibly could before the yellows, the high voltage yellows, started coming in. And this is what I mean by some inconsistencies. When I go to do a slight polish or just change up the finish a little bit just to bring in, bring out the brighter colors. If you don't sand consistently in one portion, or you do harder in one area versus another, you'll have areas like up here that are a little bit heavier polished, and there's some weird marks and whatever, and rub marks and things like that, and some inconsistencies with color. But this is still a great knife as is. Nothing really happened to it. I think it's still pretty cool looking, but this is what I essentially use to get the proper voltage to pop out these beauties. And these are honestly really freaking cool. I'm actually going to be assembling the knife right now. You guys don't get to see the bloopers because it would be like an hour long. Me going back and forth between freezing my ass in the garage and going into the kitchen and refinishing with some really worn out little pieces of wet sandpaper. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this back together, and I'll be right back to show you the finished product. All right, it is reassembled. This thing is so stupid vibrant. It practically glows in your hand. It is absolutely insane. This was actually a very easy unit to put back together. I was surprised. Sorry, it's a little bit of, I don't even know, but condensation there. This thing came back together really easily. I thought about touching up the edge, but this is basically brand new from the factory, and it has a hair popping edge, which is very impressive. This will be going immediately back to Wayne. Again, if you're watching this, thank you so much, man. I know this was a review sample, but still, it means a lot to me that you entrusted me into working on this, because I fucked up on this a lot and you didn't get to see that. It would have been an hour and something long video of me cursing a lot at an inanimate object, and regardless, I'm very happy with how this came out. It's just, this thing's freaking sick. I know you're gonna like it. It came out pretty darn awesome. Put some KPL heavy in there, and it is still very smooth and drop shutty. So this thing's pretty darn sick. So everything is going back your way. Throw that in there. This little thing, is it that way or that way? I don't know. The sleeve. All right, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I did reach out to Wayne. I don't have a custom shop, or I don't have people pay me to do this stuff. I reached out to him because I wanted to work on the Snowflake Titanium. Now that I know how forgiving it can be, it's pretty cool stuff. And I will say that I might be getting some of it in the near future, this upcoming year. So with that being said, if you are subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your patience. Of course, if you are not subscribed, consider subscribing, because I have plenty more videos and content coming your guys' way. And with that being said, have a wonderful rest of your day.